Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one's entitled Planet X and Atlantis to Now. What happened? Now, as I have shown in many previous articles, the Planet X system was made up of many star systems, which were destroyed by God in a sudden event, which removed all their gravitational energy. And this made them essentially massless, except for the basic matter connection which all matter have to the matter that created it. They thus became a dead star surrounded by a debris field, which was made of the broken pieces of what had been the outer layers of a star or planet. These objects have been entering the solar system for thousands of years now, and debris pieces coming into the Earth's atmosphere have buildings on them that are very much like our buildings, which indicates that not only were there intelligent beings and technology on these planets, but they were connected to our planet. The fact that only God could have removed gravitational energy or light from these objects to destroy them, and the fact that they had technology like ours, points to them having been ruled by Lucifer, the ruler who, according to the Bible, rebelled. And you may look at Article 604 entitled Planet X and the Reptilian King for more details. And here you'll see some buildings within clouds, and they are seen floating in the sky over the ocean, because there's nothing but ocean out there where we're looking toward here, or the camera was pointing to. And you can see building outlines or seen behind. So this is actually a city or part of a city. And so these buildings are seen over a region where there is nothing but ocean, can only be upon a piece of rock which used to belong to one of the Planet X system planets. And these planets broke up, and the pieces are now coming into our solar system and entering our atmosphere. And they remain suspended in the atmosphere because the matter is very low in gravitational energy. So it does not have enough attraction for the surface of the Earth to come down towards the surface of the Earth. Its gravitational potential is as low as matter that's usually only found in the atmosphere, and that's gases. So it remains suspended until it absorbs enough gravitational energy, and then it will slowly come down towards the surface. And you may look at Article 5A3 entitled Alien Floating Cities Built on the Planet X planets before they exploded. And you can see another one here floating in the sky, and you can see that there's even greenery that seems to have come up here. So there were most likely seeds that germinated, and they're always surrounded by clouds, because clouds are Planet X debris water. It's water that was a part of the planet and turned into clouds. And you can see that the buildings are very boxy and utilitarian, and so these buildings are very much like our modern buildings, and this suggests that an advanced technological society of workers were living on these planets, and they had to be workers because they were living on top of each other in these buildings, and people do not choose such cramped housing unless they have no choice. In other words, they were from the working class. So now, you may look at Article 584 entitled Planet X, the Reason Behind GMO Crops, where I clearly explain that these cannot be mirages or holographic projections, if you have any questions regarding that. Since there seems to be so many thousands of objects which make up these star systems, which God destroyed and which seem to have been coming into the solar system as comets for thousands of years now, and you may look at Article 367 entitled Planet X coming in as comets and affecting the Earth. And since these objects were responsible for the Great Flood, which occurred over 4,000 years ago, and you may look at Article 515 entitled Current Cataclysm Engulfing the Earth started at the Great Flood. These star systems are usually very far from, and since these star systems are very far from each other, typically several light years, it should have taken them, even if moving at 0.1% of the speed of light, that's about 300 kilometers per second, 1,000 years, it should have taken them 1,000 years to travel a distance of 1 light year. So they must have been destroyed over 5,000 years ago, which seems to coincide with the time that the Bible seems to point as the beginning of Adam's time on Earth, which was about 6,000 years ago. The huge number of objects points to this being a galactic empire, spanning many star systems, all controlled by one ruler, Lucifer. And here you see a city from the movie Star Wars, and some of these buildings look somewhat like some of the buildings in Dubai. You see one of the buildings from Dubai here, and you can see similarities. Now, huge technologically advanced cities must have flourished on Earth 6,000 years ago. And you may look at Article 610 entitled Advanced Technology on Earth over 6,000 years ago. There would be no clouds, though. You can see clouds here, as clouds only started coming in when the stellar cores, the cores of the other destroyed planets in the galactic empire, started entering the solar system. Now, this indicates that the story in the Star Wars movie of a huge galactic empire is true, like many of the ideas that we encounter in movies. Why is that? How can human beings born only 20 or 30 years ago know about such a thing and come up with these ideas for movies? The only possible reason is that the human mind is connected to Lucifer and the other angels that serve him, who were around then, and they communicate these ideas to those who make the movies. And this is also true of the movie The Matrix, and you may look at Article 611 entitled Star Wars and the Matrix, the Truth and One Important Lie. The Earth must have therefore been a part of this empire or huge group of planets across a certain region of the galaxy, and must have had advanced technology on it as well. Therefore, Atlantis may well have been Earth's capital city, where there must have been a spaceport so that contact with the rest of the empire was maintained. But then all the other star systems were destroyed, which greatly reduced the size of this empire. However, the solar system was not destroyed like the other star systems, and since there are other planets in the solar system which most likely had civilization on them as well, they may have still been a smaller part of that empire left standing inside the solar system. We know that there was civilization on Mars, since there are artificial buildings on the surface of Mars, and there may have been life on the other planets, like on Venus, since Venus may once have been a livable planet, which then got destroyed by the Planet X system objects that started coming into the solar system at around the time of the flood. Mars lost most of its water and atmosphere, and life on the surface became impossible except for in domed cities or underground. So the flood destroyed the civilization that was then on Earth, and Atlantis, which was most likely one of the capital cities on Earth, or the capital city, and it has now taken 6,000 years to build up the technology to the current level, so that now we have the same type of buildings that these planets had 6,000 years ago. And so here you see some of these Planet X system stellar cores, these two on the sun's corona, this one's in the Earth's atmosphere, and these are the dead cores of the planets and stars. The larger ones that go to the sun are most likely the cores of stars. And these were once a part of Lucifer's galactic empire, these planets, which God then destroyed. Now, the fact that God destroyed the other planets, but that he didn't destroy Earth, shows that there was something different about Earth. The other planets must have also had flesh and blood beings like us, who most likely were the workers who built the cities and the spacecraft and thus the infrastructure, but they were all destroyed except for those who were on Earth, and by extension those who were on Mars, since Mars was not destroyed with the other planets either. But we know that the Mars civilization was destroyed later on, and that there seems to have been nuclear war waged on Mars, according to Dr. John Brandenburg, who found evidence of nuclear weapons signature on Mars. However, it states that it happened millions of years ago, which I don't think is possible. What has most likely happened is that the radioactive decay rates are not constant, and that they went through a fast rate of decay at the time of the flood, when the Earth also seems to have expanded to twice its size. And you may look at Article 516 entitled The Great Flood Cataclysm Caused the Earth to Expand and Oceans to appear, and then slowed again as the electrons which the Earth is absorbing from the Planet X system objects is locking up the gravitational energy inside the Earth's core, and is thus preventing some nuclei from decaying. And you may look at Article 618 entitled Planet X system electrons make the energy in the Sun's core inaccessible. And here you see a photograph of buildings. Actually, these look like pyramids. This looks like a human face. And this is on Mars. And you can see that these appear to be in ruins. So it shows that that civilization on Mars was destroyed. Also, the planet has no water. It's basically become a desert, even though there are signs that it once had rivers and an ocean. So, in conclusion, Planet X system debris with buildings on them leads to the realization that Earth was a part of a vast galactic empire 6,000 years ago, just like the one which appears in the movie Star Wars, and shows that Lucifer was the ruler of that empire, and that he is on Earth and has the ability to impart ideas to the minds of men. The fact that God destroyed those other planets and not Earth shows that there was something different about Earth. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.